Hey, hello everyone, how are you all today? So, yes, teaching aptitude we were doing, and we are going to continue those topics that were left behind in the last session. So, we have completed the basics of teaching, like what is teaching aptitude and what are the basic requirements of teaching. We have also completed characteristics of teaching, levels of teaching. I have also taught you what is Bloom taxonomy. Teaching is different. This is also we have done methods of teaching. I told you to watch the detailed video because there are a lot number of content inside methods of teaching, so you have to complete that. Apart from that, we will start with factors of teaching and Delcone's model. So this teaching aptitude should have been completed in this 4 days. So this is the I think this would be the first day or the second day. Whatever day it is, try to complete the videos on the given day. Don't wait for the last day, because last day you'll not be able to do the entire thing. It's not possible. Okay, so now let's start with factors affecting teaching. Factors affecting teaching refers to various things that affect the teaching process. So if you are a good teacher or a bad teacher, it depends upon various things. Some of the things are based on teacher, some of the things are based on student, and some of the things are based on environment as well. So first is teacher. As a teacher, you should have subject expertise. So this is very important. I'll just write it down here. One second. Yes, subject matter. You should know what you're teaching, and what are the methods, various methods you're teaching, how much course are you covering, as well as what are the skills you have. Like, do you have good communication skills, good presentation skills? Are you very comfortable in front of a group? If you are not a good communicator, or you don't have that kind of skills, you might not be that good teacher. So to become an effective teacher, to become a very good teacher, you need to have these skills. Then expert experience. If you have experience, that is wonderful, because once you have experience to deal with the classroom, to deal with number of students, it helps you to move forward and enhance your teaching as a career. Okay, so experience is also required, but yes, freshers will also start from somewhere. Okay, so ultimately experienced teacher are considered far more better, because they know what they are doing, they know the challenges of this job, and they also know how to manage the classroom, how to manage group of students or individual students. The next is educational qualification. Of course, that is a basic requirement, that you need basic educational qualification to complete, in India it is NET examination. Worldwide, for a university professor, it's PhD. So different countries have their different assessment test. In India, we consider NET for assistant professor, PhD for professor, and if you want to be a teacher in school level, then B.Ed is enough. So these kind of certifications you would need to become a good teacher. The next is student. A student also plays a vital role in making the teaching effective. How does student plays a vital role? Student, if they are ready to learn, ready to remember, ready to understand the concept, then it has a very different way. But if the students are stubborn, student doesn't like coming to the classes, then it becomes very difficult for a teacher to make the students understand the concept. So of course, factors affecting teaching includes the student as well. And the last is the environment, the basic environment of the classroom, the support material which you have, instructional facilities, how many facilities you have, learning outcomes, institution, how much institution helps in your ideas. Do they help you to actually utilize your ideas, utilize your ways of teaching? Do they promote your ways of teaching, or do they have problem with you teaching? The all that. Student teacher relationship, of course, I have explained it in the last video, that it should be leader, then guide, then parent, and then friend. I hope you remember that. That was in the first lecture. The last one is teaching methods. We have various teaching methods, and with use of different methods, you can get different results. So that is teaching methods. Now let's go for Delcone's experience. Delcone experience is a cone shaped structure, as you can see in the image here. One second. This is the image. Okay, Delcone's experience is based on the level of the senses involved, like your eyes, nose, tongue, your skin, and your ears. All these five senses. It is not based on the difficulty level of a concept. So how does that work? It's very simple. Suppose if a student is trying to learn something, okay, and if all the senses or majority of the senses of a student are involved, he or she might be able to learn in a more better way, and they'll be able to remember it in a more better way. But if less senses are involved, the student will not be able to retain those facts and concepts in a long term. So how does this work? There is a simple thing. Suppose you are going to read something. You might have read hundreds of books till now in your graduation, post graduation. Delcone's model is not actually based on the difficulty, it is based on the senses involved. So, suppose you might have read hundreds of books till now in your graduation, post graduation, during your school days, but there is only 10% chance you remember some of those, specifically where you have interest on some of those. So this is a classical example of Delcone's model, where it's very difficult to retain facts if you only read them. But what if you listen? The chances get increased by 20%. What if you watch a video where you are able to see what is going on, where you're able to listen what is going on? That is, of course, around 30%. Then if you give a demo yourself, it is 50%. And something what you do regularly would lead into 90%. So to remember, it's very simple. Apart from 20%, everything is an odd number. So 10, 20, 30, 50, 70 and 90, that are the percentages as given in the diagram, as you can see. So here what Delcone sir tried to say, that if more of your senses are involved, then more number of people, or more number of topics you'll be able to retain for a longer period of time. So this is Delcone's model. Delcone's model is based on a cone shape, which starts from, you can say, the least on the top and then goes to the bottom with the largest number you can remember, where more and more senses are involved. So this was a simple explanation of Delcone's model. Moving forward, we have teaching tools and teaching aids. There is a clear difference between teaching tools and teaching aids, which you need to remember. The teaching tools refers to all those materialistic things which you can buy from Amazon, Flipkart, or even at your local shop, local stationery shop. Examples for this could be your charts, or atlas, PowerPoint presentations, any kind of software, teaching software, maps, flashcards. These are the examples. But if I talk about teaching aids, using teaching tools in such a way that it is more effective. For a simple example I could give you, I can buy an atlas or a map from online or from a local stationery store that any teacher can buy. That is a teaching tool. But if I use it in teaching, and if I use it very nicely, that helps the student to understand that particular map in a correct format, that become teaching aid. So teaching tool is just a materialistic thing which can be bought by any person, whereas teaching aids are using those tools in an effective manner, so that can be help to increase the knowledge of the student, to increase the concept of the students. So these are the two major differences. Now there was a question asked in the year 2021 and 2020 related to teaching tools and teaching aids. So teaching tools or teaching aids could be of new or old. Old is traditional, or the old ones which you can easily remember during your school days. We had atlas, map, globe, charts, whiteboard, blackboard, Vedic math tools, puzzle book, drawing book, science lab apparatus models, textbooks. All these are traditional models. But right now, with the help of technology, we are able to use digital tools like PowerPoint presentation, mic, speakers, videos, projectors. This is very simple, and if they ask what are the modern or ICT based teaching tools, you should be able to remember that most of it, like 90% of them, are completely electronic. It can be a video, it can be an audio, it can be an online session. Whereas if I talk about traditional or old, it is usually the old or the traditional methods which you might have used in your school and college school days usually. Okay, so this is the basic difference between teaching tools and teaching aids. Now further we can classify teaching aids. Teaching aids could be classified into projected aids and non-projected aids, as you can see in the screen. So if I talk about projected aids, everything is digital means you need electricity to run the projected aids. It can be a projector, it can be a slideshow, it can be film, it can be the entire movie. The difference between film and film strip, the first point and the third point is, film refers to the entire movie and film strip refers to a part of the movie where you are just showing the child a part of the movie or a particular scene to teach him or her something, whereas movie refers to the entire 2.5 hours of movie. Okay, the next is we have digital slides. Like right now, on back of me you can see the slides. These are actually the PPT, PowerPoint presentation style slides which I have made myself. The next is overhead projector. Yes, this is used by various colleges and schools. And we have Epediascope. Epediascope is usually the projector of olden days, you can say. Okay, if I talk about non-projected aids, only one there is an element which is electronic, or else everything can be used without electricity. So if I talk about graphic aids, that are images, pictures, maps, diagrams, where images are involved, that are graphic aids. Display boards that are actually displayed somewhere, that are put in the wall, so that is a blackboard, whiteboard, pegboard, green board. All these kind of boards are in display boards. 3D, where we have certain thing which a child can actually touch. It can be mock-ups, dolls, models, specimen. One of the examples could be when you just go at a store to buy new phone, they give you a dummy phone so that you experience how the mobile will be looking, what would be the weight of the mobile, how the front portion or how the back portion is. So this entire thing is your 3D, where you get the experience of a 3D model. The next is audio aids. This aid is using electricity. Apart from that, only projected aids use electricity. In non-projected aids, only audio uses electricity. So this is how you can remember. Audio can be using audio cassettes, radio, listening to podcast. All those things could be like audio aids. And the last is activity aids. Activity aids is where you make the children learn stuff by doing. So how they are going to do it? They are going to do it through field trips, experiences, workshops, all that. So these are the classifications of teaching aids. These are very easy to remember. I hope you'll understand this. Now moving forward with the next one is tools of evaluation. But before going to the tools, let us understand what is evaluation. Evaluation refers to checking whether the student has understood the concepts or not. Now why is it necessary? If the student has not understood, is confused, he's not getting the idea or the gist of what you're trying to say, then your entire teaching has failed, because you're not able to make any sense to the student. This is why evaluation is very, very important. Evaluation helps teachers to change their teaching method, to understand where they went wrong, what changes can make the class more effective. These are evaluation. So these are the objectives of evaluation. So evaluation is just checking if the student has understood the concepts or not, and if the student has not understood the concepts, what were the problems that the child was facing, where a teacher could be helpful, where a teacher can change the methods or something, so that the student will be able to understand topics in a more better manner. Now let's start with you can say functions of evaluation. Functions means why are we doing this evaluation thing, that is the functions. So sorry, I'll just erase this. Okay, Now, functions of evaluation. Functions refers to what exactly are we doing with this evaluation. So, if we evaluate, what exactly is a teacher receiving or the institute receiving from this. So, to start with functions, the first one is feedback. This evaluation basically provides feedback to the teachers that we are in the right way or not, we are in the right path or not, we are explaining it in a good manner that the student is able to understand what exactly are the problems that I can solve. All these things can be known only through a good feedback. That is the evaluation. With evaluation you can get good feedback. The next is motivation. If a student is working very hard and he is getting or she is getting good marks in the examination, they get motivated, they want to learn more, because if they had put efforts, time, they're working hard, they're getting the results. This ends up into motivating the kid to work more hard, to learn more new stuff. So this is a motivating factor for any student as well as the teacher. The next one is better guidance. Yes, this helps the child to get a guidance that what exactly did I do wrong, what exactly did I not understand in the class, why my marks are so low, so sorry, and what exactly did I do wrong in the examination. So it gives better guidance to the students as well as the teacher that what needs to be changed in the future. The next is remediation, that is any mistakes done previously by the teacher or by the student in the classroom can be rectified. If there are concepts which are completely misunderstood by the student, or if there is something which was neglected by the teacher, that can be rectified only through evaluation. Because when the student will make the mistakes in the test or during the examination, the teacher will realize that yes, this was the main problem, or this is the root cause of all the problems. So that is better guidance. It provides better remediation for teacher and students. The next is facilitation of planning.